CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four brings you
the Atlantic 10 against Conference US.
Take on the 49ers of UNC Charlotte.
State University. Tough ball game, won by 7. Cincinnati rolled over George Mason by 24. Now later this afternoon, some of you will see Purdue, who beat Texas in round 1, taking on Miami. A winner over Lafayette. The winner of that game moves on to the Sweet 16. And hi everybody, I'm Craig Bullerjack along with Rolando Blackman. Good matchup here in game 1 and a good matchup in coaches as well. John Chaney at Temple, who's making his 10th straight NCAA tournament appearance.
On both ends of the court, and then he has a great jump hook from the baseline. Once he gets warmed up, his defense dictates his offense. Just an emotional player for the Sooners and a great leader to have down the stretch.
Yeah, when your star's your hardest worker, that makes it difficult for the opposition. And a wrinkle today for the 49ers, a team with interchangeable parts. Kelvin Price out of this game apparently because of an intestinal virus. He woke up this morning ill. In fact, he threw up just moments ago. He's now on an IV, and this causes a real matchup problem for head coach Bobby Lutz in dealing with Eduardo Najera.
Yeah, that really changes the defensive scheme for the 49ers because they don't have Price, who's a better interior player, would do better against Najera. Now they have to go with Tremaine Gardner because they don't want to get Galen Young in foul trouble. So we're going to keep our eye on that matchup.
And the reason for that is Galen Young is an outstanding scorer at 17 points in round 1. Beth Mullins, our reporter, has more on the situation surrounding Kelvin Price.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. Just moments before the game, Kelvin Price was not out with the shoot-around for the team, but when they did come out to start the game, he came out of the locker room, shook his head as if he wasn't feeling very well. I talked to the assistant coach, Orlando Early. He said, without Price in the lineup, we have to go smaller, so that means trouble on the defensive glass, but we should be quicker on the offensive boards. They did win once without him back in December against Virginia Tech. Tim?
Youthful Bobby Lutz in his first year as head coach after being a longtime assistant under Melvin Watkins and Jeff Mullins. His starting lineup with Young and Gardner. Whitehead, as we mentioned, will be in the pivot. Guevara and Joby Thomas, who hit the big three-pointer that sent the first game to overtime. Najera, Humphrey, Martin, Johnson, and Spalding for Kelvin Sampson. 5 straight NCAAs, but a breakthrough victory against Arizona, the number 4 seed in round 1 for him. Veteran officiating crew for our game: Larry Rose, Ed Corbett, and Mike Thibodeau. These are teams that really rely on the three-point shot. To win, they must hit 40% of their field goals from beyond the arc. We'll watch that through the course of the day. In fact, Oklahoma had 50% of its field goals against Arizona from downtown. Opening tip, control to the Sooners.
Well, it's very important for Charlotte to really establish themselves on the defensive end. With the illness of Price, they're going to have to step up and compensate with some intangibles such as steals and hustle plays.
And as we mentioned, it's number 40, Tremaine Gardner, that is checking Najera in this opening sequence. The dump down to Humphrey. He's got hops. Finger roll. The iron and kind to open this game.
Ryan Humphrey really has great leaping ability. The key to his game is to push him out as far as possible, because if he gets you close, the ability to jump over the top, he's very successful at that.
On the wing, just inside the arc, Tremaine Gardner, the junior from Milwaukee's Oak Creek High School. A large contingent on hand to watch the homespun star here at the Bradley Center with the first bucket. Nice look inside. Spalding with the feed to Ryan Humphrey.
Well, Alex Spalding is really quick with his feet. Not great outside shooter, but the ability to break down the defense and create some easy shots for Humphreys.
Reach and foul. Spalding trying to check Joby Thomas.
This is what Spalding is great at, breaking down the defense, collapsing on him, and then a great dish pass. Sometimes that's better than having the offensive game because you create for your other teammates.
Yeah, you look out here, James, they're like mirror images of one another, these two teams. A lot of swing players, combo guys that could play either the off guard or the small forward.
Yeah, that's the key to the college game, it seems like. There's really not a lot of dominant centers anymore. There are some power forwards, but the 6'5" to 6'8" range, the versatility, the ability to go inside now, that's the player that we're seeing successful in today's game.
Good example of that is you see Galen Young off the back iron. It is controlled to Oklahoma. would be that Gonzaga victory against Stanford. The Redwoods knocked out yesterday. There you see the story on Oklahoma. 18th NCAA tournament appearance, but it had been 9 long years since they had won a first-round game, and they got it. The first one for Kelvin Sampson as head coach on Friday.
49ers trying to put a little bit of half-court pressure.
Martin.
Derek Martin underwent a little back surgery last year, coming off of that. Strong from behind the arc.
Young on the dribble drive. Spalding brings it down and looks to push. Defended, but a foul spotted. It'll go against Ryan Humphrey. Coming up next, some of you will be going out to this game. Southwest Missouri State and Tennessee, the 4th seed in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a 2:30 Eastern tip time. The winner of that game has the unenviable task of taking on Duke in the round of 16.
Got to say a couple of prayers and Hail Marys and pray for a miracle, because they're strong.
Hope that Elton Brand is not hot early. They got through Tulsa very easily today. They led by 30 at halftime. Humphrey on the deck, turned it over. Did not get rid of it in time. So UNCC will control.
Well, it's very important for Guevara too to really get going in this ball game. He had a slow start yesterday, didn't really do much in the first half, but was used as a decoy later in the game to open up a shot for Joby Thomas to tie the game.
Guevara giving it up. Nice work. Unable to convert, Galen Young. But just as you mentioned that, it was almost the same move there by Guevara that helped set up that Joby Thomas shot. Operating as a decoy to bring the defense to him.
Yeah, sometimes your best offensive player is your best decoy, because everyone in the building knows that in a crucial situation who you're going to go to. So he did an excellent job of penetrating and also drawing the defense to him to open up for other players, particularly Joby Thomas, and I think today critical for Marlon Thomas.
Johnson, great pass to Ryan Humphrey, anticipating where the defense was. Able to thread that one right between the arms of number 55, Kenny Whitehead of UNC Charlotte.
And without Price in the game, they're going to have the ability to break down the 49ers defense, and when they do that, it's going to be all kind of buckets underneath.
Whitehead with a turnaround.
Whitehead not really known for his offensive skills, a big body, a banger, but anytime you give a big man good position, you know, he feels comfortable that he can make a turnaround 4-footer.
Whitehead, freshman from Arlington, Virginia. Gardner goes for the steal. Martin makes him pay. This is a UNC Charlotte defense that will gamble. Curtis Martin now has hit a pair. He has 6, both from downtown. Kelvin Price will come in the next dead ball. And there's a foul against Johnson of Oklahoma. There's Kelvin. So we'll see how long he can go in this game based on that intestinal virus. Both teams are able to convert. An excellent dime.
Looked very, very comfortable also for a freshman. Of course, as we talked about, at the end of the season, no one's a freshman anymore. But these guys have been through many, many games and are ready to play.
Jermaine Tate picked up his foul. You make a good point. Cincinnati playing in their 33rd game of the season. Same with Temple. Yeah, you're not a freshman anymore.
Excellent move right there by Rasheed Brokenborough. In a man-to-man defense, though, Temple has a great advantage simply because they have a great big people inside. This is where Rasheed Brokenborough excels.
He had a tremendous game against Kent State University, 15.7 boards in that game Friday night. Logan, head fake, floats it up. Nice touch, in and back out. And it's rebounded by Sanchez. Boy, he's just like a gnat.
Steve Logan had a nice shot right at the beginning, but decided to dribble, took it right into the defense, and had to pump. Made it a tough shot at the time.
Temple going inside with a big fella. And a nice soft touch put down by Barnes.
Have to call a timeout. You see how comfortable they are, though, in understanding what they need to do and getting the ball into their big people down the floor.
Well, Broken Burrow with a bucket, Lyde with a hoop, and now Lamont Barnes, a junior out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, makes it 6-0. And Roe, break this game down. What will it take for Cincinnati and Temple to walk away to the Sweet 16?
I think the most important thing for Temple is to make sure that they get an opportunity to hit from the perimeter, and they've got to play big, as you've seen right now, going against the man-to-man, taking that ball to the hole and doing very strong. In Cincinnati, they've got to be able to penetrate the zone. The last couple of times, they've taken some very, very tough shots, and once that ball goes up on the boards, these big bodies have got to clash and come away with it.
Well, you talk about playing big, as you mentioned, big on the line, but also just playing big overall. They're 3 for 3 to start this game. Any type of uneasiness? Yep. Absolutely not.
Not at all. Temple is feeling very comfortable because they're getting a chance to apply their strengths. Broken Burrow on the outside, and also the big fellas, Lyde and Barnes on the inside.
Levitt got hung up, dropped it off baseline to Martin, and a whistle. Lyde picks up the foul. That's going to be his first and the first team foul.
Watches, he tries to go on up and throw the ball right down to Thomas, but everyone was just around him, and he gets hit right on the side and he takes a shot.
Knocked out of bounds. 34 on the shot clock for Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has to do a lot more probing, a lot more aggression going to the bucket.
What a tough pass. They lob it into Fletcher, who's checked in. Ryan Fletcher out of Franklin, Ohio, wears number 24, a junior. Oh, nice shot. Wouldn't go. Tip try by Fletcher.
Excellent play right there by Melvin Levitt. Even though he missed the shot, Craig, he did a great job by penetrating that defense.
Actually, they give the tip to Kenyon Martin. So Cincinnati took nearly 3 minutes to find the bucket. It's 6-2 Temple. Pepe Sanchez, patient.
Cincinnati a little confused.
Karcher off the mark. Rebound goes out to the little man Logan and across the timeline.
Lucky on that play, too. Cincinnati was switching on the baseline.
Michael Martin kicks it back up top. Logan thought about the 3, backs it out. 17 on the shot. Levitt had the ball stripped, picks it up, drives the paint, and then again bodies on the deck and a whistle.
See, Melvin Levitt does understand what needs to be done. Even though you're playing against the zone, it's a matchup man-to-man zone. You've got to be able to go to the basket and attack. And with that, you'll get good things happening to you. As Melvin Levitt takes it right to the boards. The important part of it right there is that he's attacking, creating fouls. Watch as he comes right to the bucket, though. And all that is very, very good because what he's doing is not only getting points for Cincinnati, but also creating fouls, as we see Kevin Lyde with his second personal, and that's good for Cincinnati.
That's going to force John Chaney, after the first shot here of Levitt, to make a substitution. One, you'll have to bring in a freshman, Ronald Rollerson, at 6'10", to try to battle the big front of Cincinnati. Levitt makes the first.
This is Greg Gumbel in New York. We'll keep you updated on what happens between Temple and Cincinnati, but those of you awaiting second round action in the Midwest between Miami and Utah, your game in New Orleans, and join Jim Nance and Billy Packer right after this.
Wisconsin Badgers in round 1. It was a 12 seed defeating a 5 seed. Kevin Alt led the way. Can the fantasy continue?
The shoe fits.
Welcome back to Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Second round play continues in the East region. And this afternoon, we feature the Southwest Missouri State Bears, winners over Wisconsin, against the 4th seed Tennessee Volunteers, who outlasted Delaware in round 2. Hi, once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with the coach, Al McGuire. We had a little bit of a blowout in game 1. I think we expect a much closer game here.
Well, you have this will be a shootout. The score will probably be in the high 70s or low 80s.
We are at the Superdome in New Orleans. It's a hot ticket indeed for a doubleheader today that begins with Miami University against the University of Utah. And later today, for the first time ever, Kansas and Kentucky will meet in an NCAA tournament game. The Red Hawks and the Utes up first, then the Jayhawks and the Wildcats later this afternoon. Jim Nance and Billy Packer, so excited about this day, Billy, aren't we?
Jim, it could be very, very interesting here.
What do you expect we're going to see from Wally Serbiak after scoring 40?
And let's check in with Armin Katayan.
Thanks, Vern. Just moments ago, I spoke to Kevin Alt, he of the glass slipper. He said it would take a total team effort to beat Tennessee. Sam Alford, Steve's dad, assistant coach, said we've got to keep Tennessee off the boards. That's our #1 priority. In fact, it was such a priority, he said it to me twice. Back to you.
All right, and the officiating crew for this game, Dave Libby, Gene Monge, and Bob Sitov. Southwest Missouri State, one of 3 teams in the tournament out of the Missouri Valley Conference. They won their second ever tournament game here on Friday night. Had to go back to 1987. And the Tennessee Volunteers finished the regular season in a rush with 6 wins, including a victory at home over Kentucky, their second win. But they had problems losing to Mississippi State in the SEC tournament. And in truth, they struggled against Delaware here on Friday.
Well, they're very fortunate. They dodged the bullet against the Fighting Blue Hens. They're right in that ball game to the late in the second half.
Tony Harris at the point, number 14. He is picked up by William Fauntleroy. Now Brandon Horton. Left side Harris, pick and roll. Horton peers inside, wanted to find either C.J. Black or Torrey Harris and missed them both.
A little bit too much speed on that pass this early in the game. The game gets started. You gotta let your big men get a light sweat.
Now Ken Stringer. And William Fauntleroy, number 12. He's picked up by Harris. Kevin Alt takes the jumper. No. Yarborough clears it for the Volunteers. Wharton was scoreless in the first half of the game against Delaware, but Wharton came on with 15 second half points. He misses that first effort and a foul called on Harris. There's Brandon Wharton. Excuse me. Al.
Foul call on Harris. Harris is expendable. He'll play the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then they'll come in with Victor.
Isaiah Victor will come off the bench shortly. Now Stringer. Kevin Alt. Fauntleroy. Good defense. On the floor, jump ball, possession arrow. And it's going to be ruled a fine defensive play.
When it's an outstanding defensive play, he does not adjust the arrow. Want to keep the ball in Harris's hands here. He runs the show. What Tennessee needs is a big game for him in distributing and also in scoring.
Harris rejected. Ron Bruton knocked that one backwards. Here's Fauntleroy. He's got all right side. He comes left to Stringer. Danny Moore fighting for position. Gets the pass, the double down, pass back. Stringer takes the jumper. No. Horton in a hurry for Tennessee. Harris.
No hesitation on Tennessee. They want to run and giddy up.
Fauntleroy. Tip is good. Ron Bruton gets the first basket of the game off the Fauntleroy miss.
You got to keep a body on Burton down low. There's a turnover. Fauntleroy.
Stringer measures the 3, goes underneath, and Danny Moore will go to the free throw line. Well, good position by Ron Bruton to get the tip.
Yes, it broke the slide. A nice inside position. Overlay there. Nobody put a body on him. Zippo.
Foul called on Yarborough, and that sends Danny Moore to the free throw line.
Offenses are taking longer to get started this year than any year because referees are allowing too much of an edge to the defensive end of the ball game. They're allowing hand checking, body checking, they're bumping the cutters, and they're moving on their screens and picks. You can't allow all that. It's gotten too physical a ball game. So it takes the offense about 5-6 minutes to get into the swing.
Feel strongly that way.
I feel very strongly about it. It's going to show more so in the next 5 or 6 years.
There's the pass to C.J. Black. Nice move, too strong. Gets his own miss, puts it up. And the second time it goes through. C.J. Black.
Nice active body down low. We get what I call a mambo fake. A head and shoulders down low. Missed it. Stayed with it and finalized.
Harris picks up Fauntleroy. Now Kevin Alt, number 24, junior from Warsaw, Indiana. Danny Moore, turnaround jumper is good.
The baseline is his favorite spot, about 10-12 feet out. Good pressure up court. It's 2-2-1.
Alt gets the miss on the pass that hit the basket. And here's Fauntleroy. Here's jumper in. That one off Tennessee, out of bounds. This is, as we saw against Wisconsin, a tenacious defensive unit.
Surprisingly, because Steve Alford, you figure that, hey, this is an offensive player at Indiana and an offensive player all his life. Normally they favor the offense, but his defense is excellent. I think the coach is waiting too long to call a timeout. He's waiting for the commercial timeout. Coach Green.
7-2 Southwest Missouri State. Danny Moore, Torrey Harris defending him. Alt cuts, catches, shoots, cans it.
Can't give him that look. Too much of a look.
9-2. Torrey Harris is fouled by Fauntleroy.
Harris started moving faster and faster. Seemed to have maybe got a little bump on his knee. He's looking over at the bench. I don't think they'll take him out. It just doesn't seem to be serious enough. Well, maybe they should take him out. Just have the doc take a look at him. Let's see how he handles the ball here, Vern.
A little gimpy. Here's Wharton off the front iron. Rebound out of bounds. Touch last by the Bears. Tennessee will inbound. Now Jerry Green's making a move, but this is for Isaiah Victor coming in. No, it's not. Richard Lewis. Beg your pardon. Richard Lee.
Yeah, Richard Lee come in for Yarbrough. The reason he's taking Yarbrough out, he's a freshman, and you got to keep them confident. When they don't get out of the gate fast, the best thing is take them out for a couple of minutes and give them confidence.
Wharton stripped. Out of bounds. Touch last by Bruton.
Will not get a fresh clock. Here's a move by Wharton underneath. Nice move, solid. Should have ended up making that shot.
9-2, Southwest Missouri, Tennessee. A 1 of 7 start from the field.
SMS is playing man-to-man. Moore is floating completely off Harris.
C.J. Black, skip pass into the corner for Harris. Wharton guarded by Alt.
Looking to punch it in the Black. Clock made him shoot.
Whoa!
Only reason he took the shot, there was 1 second on the shot clock. Big time three.
Richard Lee, Isaiah Victor getting ready to make his first appearance on the floor for the Volunteers. Lee out on Stringer. Kevin Alt, number 24. I got another. Ken Stringer, the senior from Lithonia, Georgia, gets the basket.
Watch the defense this time on SMS. Watch the defense on the Bears. They're unbelievable man-to-man. They stay right up on you. They bury themselves into you. They won't give you the 3-ball. Walton is off the baseline. Probably one of their better scorers game in and game out.
Nice drive by Brandon Wharton. 11-7. Danny Moore, top of the key. Three-pointer.
Danny Moore is not a bang it down low. He likes to take the 15, a 12, 15 foot from the baseline, and anytime facing from the foul line out, he'll put it up.
And he is not a big man who takes a lot of long-range shots. That is only the third three he has made this year. He's 3 out of 8 now.
But anytime you got a good look from the top of the key, you got to take it. Even you, Vern.
That may be stretching things.
A little bit,
Coach. Danny Moore, the 6'10 senior. 14-7.
Miami University. And Estick unable to convert the short one.
I'll tell you, Althoff is really doing a fine job for his team. He goes down again.
He's definitely
really
sprained an ankle or something. He's, for the second time, having a hard time getting to the other end.
It'll be Cullen coming in for him. There's Medela with a beautiful layup.
Hano Medela had missed his first 3 shots from the field. And a 20-second timeout called by the Redhawks. Now, on Friday, Serbiak scored 43 of his team's 59 points, which is the all-time tournament record for percentage of a team's points. I mean, not even close. You can go back to David Robinson for the second best percentage.
And look at what he had. He had a 50-point game. And the one that shocked me out of all of that, Jim, when I started thinking about that, was Austin Carr. And I said, gee, Austin had 61, but I didn't realize his team scored 112 in the game. So that's phenomenal, considering the percentage of your team's points in a given game. And it was a very unselfish performance. I mean, he didn't take bad shots. And when you take a look at his percentage of shooting, remember the 3 that he took when he was totally exhausted. And then he took about 2 or 3 shots that he had to take because the clock was winding down. It was a fabulous performance.
It's the 3rd best performance of the season, going back to the regular season. Lee Nalen of TCU and Alvin Young of Niagara both had 44-point games. There's Estick with the shot.
Well, what
Althoff on the bench.
What Miami is doing, they realize that Utah loves to hedge defensively. There's another lob pass and just too much size for this Miami team. But they love to hedge. And so Miami's running a lot of pick and rolls. Try to take advantage of it. So far, it's been pretty effective. And Harvey, who did that job on Chico Fletcher, remember, with so much size that he has, now on Frierson. Harvey is a big 6'5", may even be 6'6".
While he's aware of the shot clock, pull back, take the 3.
One of his favorite moves is to stare down the defender, looking like he's going to be a pass, and then go straight up for the jump shot. Jensen always looks to pass, not to shoot. Majera says, I'd like to see him take 2 or 3 back shots. Again, just going over the top with superior height.
That's twice they've gone right over the top of Jason Grunkemeyer. And, you know, they're listed as just a 2-inch difference in size.
Yeah, well, that's a joke.
They got Jensen 6'7", Grunkemeyer 6'5", and we've been saying this all week. I think Jensen's more in the 6'9" range.
Right, and I'll tell you another thing. I think that Utah measures their guys in a crouch without shoes, everybody else in high heels, because
look at Jensen, knocked down a 3 from way out.
And that keeps Serbiak honest. But they are a very tall, rangy, long-armed team, is Utah. Look at like Cullen in the game. They list him at 6'9". He's about a 6'10.5", 6'11" player.
And a good one, too.
Oh, yeah.
Freshman from the state of Washington. All right, Utah with its largest lead, an 8-point lead. Serbiak hits a 3-pointer over Cullen this time.
This just goes to show you the total versatility he has as an offensive player. You know, he can take it strong to the basket. He's got great range on his jump shot. Jensen fouling.
Pushed off, going into the post. Pushed off Serbiak. Jensen with 5 points for the Utes, leading the way, and they're up by 5.
And they're doing just a great job in hitting shots, making steals, setting up his teammates, and just overall control the game and dominating the Kent State backcourt.
Sanchez calmly makes them both. And so now Temple doubles up Cincinnati. They're on a 6-0 run, leading 14-7.
This is where now the backcourt has to be the catalyst for Cincinnati, setting up the plays, making sure someone gets a good shot, and setting up the pace.
Fletcher guarded by Karcher, but they feed inside. Little double pump rejected out. Oh, what the
A whole lot of time, though, to be able to get a shot off once the ball goes in, as Michael found out on that play.
Bob Huggins of Cincinnati wants a timeout. His ball club down 16-7.
You know, Fletcher gets in the basketball, but Barnes just comes right over and negates that play. And then you got a great fast break with Brokenborough in his great play, taking it over to Karcher, and he puts it on through, even though Fletcher's right around.
John Chaney talking to his club, who've come out here with a 16-7 lead, 9:31 remaining, and look at that run over the last 2:20. Temple having their way on the defense and offensive side, and again, that defense turns into offensive points.
Well, and it does, and they're the ones that are in control. They're the ones playing the matchup zone defense, and also they're playing so very well that they get a chance to fast break out of it and taking their time on offense too, and dictating who's going to get the ball. So Cincinnati right now has to make an adjustment.
One of those adjustments is Michael Horton, number 11. Bothered by a foot injury most of the season. A little bit more muscle at the guard spot. Michael back around to Horton. Kicks it to the corner. 5 on the shot. Levitt's going to have to pull up for the 3. Martin had it. Loose ball. Levitt chases it down. Ooh, nearly over and back.
That's some good ball movement, though. There we go. Low.
Cincinnati's missed their last 5. And a whistle and a foul on Keaton Sanders.
And it's very difficult right there. Keaton Sanders didn't have to foul because he should know that Lamont Barnes is right behind him, shoring up the inside. All he has to do is make sure that Kenyon Martin goes right on up. Very difficult right there. A little bit nervous on that play, not wanting him to score. But with Barnes coming on over, roaming that middle, he's doing a great job of denying Cincinnati.
Martin at 57% misses the front end.
Right now, Cincinnati's doing a little bit of reeling right now. They just have to make sure and get some penetration, because with penetration, you can kick the basketball off to someone who's open. Just passing it around the perimeter, Craig, will not be enough.
3rd point for Kenyon Martin. Still, Temple with an 8-point lead, 16-8. Under 9 minutes remaining opening half here in Boston, the Fleet Center. 2nd round of the East Region. And a 5-second call going the other way.
Melvin Levitt did a great job that time, staying very close to Rasheed Brokenborough as he was trying to dribble around. Couldn't find anybody to pass it to within the 5-second period. Great defense by Cincinnati.
Horton walks it up. Picked up by Brokenborough. Bounce pass, far side, Martin.
Ball has to stay out of the corner. He's traveling right there. Just dragged that back pivot foot as he was trying to make a pass.
Or a little hitch in the giddy up.
See, well, this is what the defense does to you, though. It's an important part that it makes you think, makes you move the ball around. And that's what you did, exactly what you don't want to do. Against that Temple defense, you've got to stay in an attack mode. And that's the only way you're going to get some good shots for yourself or for your teammates.
6 turnovers for Cincinnati. Understand Karcher of Temple. Mark Karcher's laying back behind their bench trying to stretch out. We'll see if Jimmy Dykes can't give us an update. Maybe cramps. We saw some cramps Friday night with some players. Loose ball picked up. Here comes Cincinnati.
Good play by Melvin Levitt coming over there to help.
3-on-2. Horton, it was one of those cases of I've got the easy hoop. You looked up before he had control, and another turnover. That's 7 on Cincinnati. Temple leads by 8.
Basketball team.
Very heady play by Damon Frierson on the assist.
Coming up tonight, we begin the evening with 60 Minutes, followed by Touched by an Angel. And then the CBS Sunday movie Replacing Dad, starring Mary McDonnell and Tippi Hedren. That's the lineup tonight on CBS. Charlotte Coliseum, 2nd round action. 4th-seeded Tennessee Volunteers out of the SEC against the Southwest Missouri State Bears out of the MVC. And with 11:37 to go, 7 of 12 from the field. 5 Tennessee turnovers in the early going.
And the Bears have scored 10 points, I think, all of them.
Matt Reeder, number 50, makes his first appearance on the floor for Steve Alford. Phillips, Bruton, loose ball on the floor. Out of bounds, and Tennessee will get it back. Let's check the lineup for Tennessee now. They've got Tony Harris, Yarbrough, Lee, Isaiah Victor, and Hathaway.
What they got to do is get the ball low to Victor within 4 feet of the basket, and he'll score. That's number 44. Down low.
He's guarded by Bruton. Penetration from Tony Harris on the line. That will be the 6th Tennessee turnover. Pressure applied now by the Volunteers.
Tony Harris sometimes makes bad decisions, but he's only a sophomore.
Pomeroy. Kicked left by Alt to Allen Phillips for 3. No. Yes.
That's it.
Allen Phillips rolled his eyes as he ran by us. Could not believe it.
His prayer was answered.
Yarbrough's foul. Watch how high this ball went off the rim.
I'll say it goes up about 8 feet. Let me see. Oh, more than 8 feet. Automatic. That's the way he played it all the way. He wanted to catch the back rim, get a high lob, and go back through.
Yarbrough at the free throw line now for Tennessee.
He's the outstanding freshman for Tennessee.
Back to the bench, Torrey Harris replacing Hathaway, Jerry Green's team. And Yarbrough shoots one more. Young man turns 18 on the 21st of March.
Yep, he's the youngest student athlete in Division I. That's 300 and some odd schools in basketball.
1913.
Phillips that time dodged the bullet. I thought Lee had good position on that sideline. You got to get out of that corner. You're in trouble in that corner.
Pomeroy hit from behind. And they got Isaiah Victor, number 44. That's his first.
Isaiah Victor's a little bit too tall to be used in pressure.
You mean now or ever?
Ever. A fellow like that, you got to put in a one-man zone, but you don't use him chasing a ball. Just too tall.
Isaiah Victor, 6'9" sophomore. Rebound off the miss. Yarbrough. C.J. Black for 3. Battle for it. It comes down, tipped, and into the hands of Ron Bruton.
Tennessee needs a little more passing, a little more feel for each other out there.
Pomeroy goes aggressively to the basket. And is rewarded after the foul with 2 shots.
Isaiah Victor committed the foul. It's a 2-shot foul.
And that's Victor's 2nd foul. 6th team foul.
2 shots.
So Southwest Missouri State 1 away from the bonus. 10-13 to go, first half of play.
This young man is from the same town as Big Dog Robinson, Gary, Indiana. Good concept, missed the first shot. He broke the foul line and came back up and reset.
Gets the 2nd substitution now. Torrey Harris back on the floor, number 40 for Tennessee. And Ryan Bettenhausen makes his first appearance on the floor now. He had a big game in game 1.
Hit 3 super shots, 2 in the first half.
Ryan Bettenhausen, the first recruit for Steve Alford. He's from the famed Bettenhausen racing family in Indiana. That basket not there. The follow no. Loose ball, and it'll be Southwest Missouri. Ryan Bettenhausen's father lost an arm in a racing accident. He is here, as a matter of fact. His grandfather, Tony, was injured fatally in 1961 at the Indy 500. Bettenhausen answered the call of Steve Alford, literally committed to Southwest Missouri State on the phone. without seeing the campus. Traveling on Kevin Alt.
Alt is trying to get too much done. Play within your ability. I don't care what level ball, always play within your ability. And the game will come to you. The game, 40 minutes long, is a lifetime. It's like a light year. Don't ever go to the game. Guys and girls out there, let the game come to you.
9.5 to go first half.
Here's the first zone, a 1-2-2 zone.
And a 22nd timeout called by the Volunteers.
Reason for that timeout is that's the first time that the Bears went to a zone, and Coach Green wants to say, hey, against the zone, we got to be more patient.
Has always been a question mark. Right now the difference is Temple is making it tough for them to score, and at the other end, Temple getting easier shots, throwing it inside, also capitalizing on the turnover.
We talk about the physical nature of the Bearcats, but it's Temple that has 16 of its 26 points in the paint.
They've got an outstanding front line now. Lamont Barnes, Mark Karcher both can go down there and do work, and then Kevin Light, although he picked up a second foul at about the 16-minute mark, is another big, effective low-post player for Temple.
Owls on an 11-3 run at the moment in Charlotte. Southwest Missouri State with a 20-13 lead on Tennessee.
They started off the game, Southwest Missouri State did, with good full-court defensive pressure, kind of rattled Tennessee, turned them over a little bit, and that's the reason they have this 7-point cushion right now.
Tennessee has forced 6 turnovers, and they've gotten 10 points off of those turnovers by the Volunteers so far.
And here they are in the open court. Another rebound and an opportunity to run, and there they go.
Winner of this game moves on to East Rutherford, New Jersey on Friday to play Duke. You know, the Tennessee Volunteers have a way of fooling you, Clark. Sometimes they hit streaks, and you never know which way they're going to go. Let's get you to Milwaukee now. Oklahoma and UNC Charlotte.
Well, Oklahoma has doubled up the score by virtue of cold shooting from the 49ers, and Oklahoma has shot right around 50% for most of the game. They started in the first 8 or 9 minutes shooting 67%, and that looked like Nahara from behind the three-point line.
Remember, UNC Charlotte started this game without center Kelvin Price. Had an intestinal virus, was treated, did come into the game, but so far he has just 1 point. Let's get you back to New Orleans, Miami, and Utah, and rejoin Jim Nance and Billy Packer at the Louisiana Superdome.
Trying to win only their 3rd NCAA game ever, and to get into the Sweet 16 for the first time.
Steve Alfred's using a 9-man rotation, trying to keep his team fresh for the second half.
Vegas Davis, number 34, big basket for Tennessee.
Vegas Davis is probably the best athlete on the orange and white.
Alt.
That was illegal. That ball went over the backboards. That's absolutely illegal. Good call by the back official.
Yeah. Gene Monge called that one, so it will be Tennessee's ball.
I don't like Alt's follow through here. He kind of moved his wrist, but all net. What can you say?
Well, Tim, you need 2 igniters when you get to this level. Obviously, Guevara is a guy that can do it, but Price, he's like a spiritual leader for Charlotte. They need him on the court like a big brother to keep them calm, verbal leadership, and they follow his lead. So he's a very important element for the 49ers.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that admits openly that this is a team with cause. They don't get respect. Brings that circle the wagons mentality that carries a team through a tournament.
It sure does. And when you have a rock in the middle like Price, it really builds a nice foundation.
Kendrick Smith coming in. Brett Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will be along with Pennzoil at the half with scores, highlights, live look-ins, and more. All of that coming up on Pennzoil at the half. All that said, with Guevara sitting down, Oklahoma could lead by far greater margin than they currently have. 17, they doubled up UNC's Charlotte, but they had a 5-minute lapse. They were stuck on 21 for quite some time. Better than 5 minutes. UNC Charlotte fortunate to be down by 17.
They really are. Oklahoma's really had a lot of chances as they continue to attack. Oklahoma doing an excellent job of executing. Michael Johnson knocking down the three.
The lead is 20, largest of the day. Marlon Thomas giving it up to Tolliver.
The perimeter game is being taken away. The Sooners know Charlotte likes to go for the perimeter. There's a lot of gaps in the middle as we see Young going to the hole, and that's what the Hornets have to do. They have to drive to the gaps.
UNC Charlotte now with its second field goal in the last 14.5 minutes. Heskett off the pick. Too strong. Kelvin Price, we're told, is already headed to the locker room through the tunnel. My guess is more IVs will be needed for him. Young lost it on the way up. Neely from point-blank range. The Sooners just won't allow anything cheap inside. Jonathan Neely is fouled, the sophomore from Rockingham, North Carolina, by Eric Martin.
Well, the 49ers, when they get those offensive rebounds, they're really going to have to gather themselves. They're so anxious to get some points on the board. Neely, I like the effort, but he's really going to have.
In a game that has been dominated by Oklahoma's defense and Kelvin Price's inability to play at 100% because of an intestinal virus, it's an 18-point Oklahoma lead. Monday on the King of Queens, see what America's laughing about when Kevin James and the one and only Jerry Stiller star in King of Queens, Monday, 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS. Complementary players for Oklahoma have been a factor as well. The focus of UNCC's defense has been on Nahara, and Eric Martin has loaded up, hitting 5 3-point shots, and he, along with Spalding and Michael Johnson, have been the answer for Kelvin Sampson's team.
Well, I really like what Alex Spalding came to the arena with this afternoon. He's a guy that's been breaking down the defense of the 49ers, along with Michael Johnson, and allowing guys like Humphreys and Martin and Avila to expose the 49ers defense.
D. Tolliver picks up the foul, and a 22nd timeout taken by Kelvin Sampson. The winner of this game to take on the winner of the Ole Miss Michigan State game. You look there at Bobby Lutz. He's such a young guy. I think of when talking with Bobby yesterday, memories of watching Jeff Foxworthy's stand-up come to my mind, because he is very quick to point out that he might mispronounce Nahara's name because of his very thick Southern accent. But here's a guy that really understands the pressures of the game at a lower level, at Pfeiffer College, where you literally had to do everything. Keep up with the keys, roll out the basketballs, and drive the bus.
Well, I know where Pfeiffer College is on my drives from UNC home. As you look at Luke's foul there, I've been through Pfeiffer, and I know that it's just a railroad track there. And when you have to sweep the gym yourself and everyone's waiting for you to come and open the gym, that's learning it the hard way.
It keeps certainly, you maintain a level of understanding of just what pressure is. He tells his kids all the time, if they're ever complaining, you have nothing to complain about. Oklahoma has 24 of its 37 points off three-point plays from downtown, 65% of its offense. Nahara misses. Still time for a quick push. Young! Perhaps that will pump some fire into the 49ers, panning in the second half.
They definitely needed a big punch going into the locker room, something to give them some confidence, so that when they come out in the second half, they can start with some confidence. As you see, Young taking it the length of the court. No one wants to pick up a foul uncontested. Very nice.
Young has 12 of UNC Charlotte's 22 points. Here's Beth Mullins.
Now the challenge for Cincinnati now is to put a little bit more pressure on the Temple defensively.
Sanders around the horn. Wadley looking at the shot clock, fires with 2 off the rim. Since
your local CBS station.
total and a half this year against Dayton with 23 2 days after Christmas, but they're trying to work their way back as Logan hits the three.
That's exactly where Cincinnati's at its best right now, getting that ball off the boards, taking it down before Temple can establish their defense, and utilizing the guys in their best positions. That time, Logan with the jumper from the perimeter.
Loose ball, Sanchez chases after at the horn, and no shot. And so we played 20 minutes. Impressive first half by John Chaney and his Temple Owls. Pepe Sanchez was 7. Wadley a big spark off the bench, Rolando, with a pair of threes.
Rebounding, that's the most important part of this whole thing, and finding the probe on that zone.
After this break, we'll take it to New York. Clark Kellogg, Greg Gumbel.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome, everyone. Pennzoil at the half, along with Clark Kellogg. I'm Greg Gumbel. We are at halftime of our game with 29-18. Temple in the lead over Cincinnati. Are you shocked by this one?
A little bit, because I thought Temple would have a chance to win this game if they scored. Cincinnati's had a tough time making shots.
All right, let's take you to New Orleans now. Miami and Utah. Jim Nantz and Billy Packer are there.
Under a minute and a half.
Happening right here. You have Miami, who only has a 1.2 rebound advantage on their opponents. Utah, on the other hand, is right at 9. But this game is relatively even in the rebounding situation. So that shows that the matchup is working much better for Miami than it is for Utah in regard to going small.
Three-pointer.
Pick and roll again.
Estick lays it up softly for 2 more, and it's back to a 1-point game.
I love the chess match between these two coaches here.
Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. Welcome to Pennzoil at the half, everyone. At halftime of the game in Boston, the Temple Owls leading Cincinnati by a score of 29-18. We'll talk about many more things happening. But first, let's take you to the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, where Miami, Ohio is trailing the Utah Utes by a score of 30-29. Let's go there and join Jim Nantz and Billy Packer.
You're looking for a nail-biter. It's here in New Orleans. The 2-seed Utah had an 11-point lead at one time in this half at 24-13. But Miami, the 10-seed, which advanced to this round with a win over Washington, has fought back. Wally Szczerbiak has 8. And Jason Stewart off the bench hit 3 threes to lead the way with 9. Final 22 seconds of the half.
Andre Miller down inside, setting a lot of screens. He has Mestis on him. Remember, Mestis' quickness prevented Miller from getting dribble penetration. Let's see what happens here as it winds down.
Shot clock turned off. Miller twisting with 8, puts up the shot, and the All-American now has 6.
Couldn't beat him to the basket, but he's got that good pull-up jumper.
This could tie it. Frierson, and Utah will go to the locker room with a 3-point lead. That's the end of the first half. The score, Utah 32, Miami 29. Greg and Clark will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message and a word from your local station.
NCAA tournament action taking place in Milwaukee, Boston, Charlotte, and New Orleans. Clark Kellogg and I are going to fill you in right now.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. Welcome to Pennzoil at the half. We are at halftime of the game in New Orleans, where Miami trails Utah 32-29. Maybe a closer game than some folks expected, Clark. Wally Szczerbiak and Alex Jensen offsetting each other with 8 points so far.
The big difference from Miami of Ohio, and I didn't know if they could do this, they found another spoke in their scoring wheel. Szczerbiak has been okay, but Jason Stewart, 3 big 3-point shots. That's the reason Miami of Ohio is close right now.
All right, we want to take you folks now to the action at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Second round game in the East there has Southwest Missouri State on top of Tennessee by 10. Let's take you there live and join Vern Lundquist and Al McGuire.
12-seeded Southwest Missouri State knocking off Wisconsin round 1, trying to take care of the 4-seeded Tennessee Volunteers here. They are up by 10. They led as many as 12 at one point. had a string of 6 successive shots they made, and they've played very good defense so far.
Outstanding defense. Matter of fact, I'm surprised that they play that well of a job on it. They're in a one-on-one situation. Here's the 9th personal foul this half on Tennessee. So any fouls from now on will be automatically 2 shots.
Wisconsin under 30% in game 1, and Tennessee hitting 30% in game 2 against the Southwest Missouri State Bears. Wharton, nope. Isaiah Victor gets the rebound. Tony Harris will try the 3 and cans it.
Tony Harris has to shoot more. He looks too much to pass. He has to start to go to the hoop, either penetrate or hit from the 3-point land.
Here comes Fauntleroy.
I'd get the ball back into Phillips' hands. Moore likes to face the basket a little bit too far out that time.
Rebound, Isaiah Victor of Tennessee. 7-point margin.
Big time down this time.
Victor and Phillips collide.
I think they'll call a foul on Phillips that time. He kind of came under Victor a little bit.
His first. Both teams going to their bench now. Kevin Alt back on the floor. Had 14 rebounds and double-digit points, 12 in the first-round win. Yarbrough sits for Tennessee. Richard Lee, number 3, takes his spot.
Victor, you're out too high. Go low. Victor, go low.
Harris.
Now Victor's low. There he is.
Oh, good job. Nice job by Ron Bruton.
Excellent defensive job. You do not get involved in the arrow in that particular play. They kick the ball down low to Victor. Bruton gets his hand on the ball. Both guys got leather. Excellent call.
22nd timeout call by Steve Alford and the Southwest Missouri State Bears. 68 seconds to go in the first half. You can see Tennessee held a 31% shooting thus far. They have out-rebounded the Southwest Missouri State Bears by 4.
That's no action at 31%. Steve Alford's teams frightened me with the defense. This is the second game I had him. I never thought in a million years that he'd be that good of a defensive coach.
Because of his offensive reputation?
His offensive reputation. In his whole life, he was a shooter. That's all he did was shoot, shoot, shoot. But he's an excellent young coach, and I know many, many schools throughout the country are looking for him.
Yep, name has been rumored. Among others, and far be it from us to not pass on a rumor. Well, Iowa and Notre Dame.
I wonder what will happen if Iowa wins the national championship. Will they let Tom Davis go?
Nice dish.
Excellent. Stringer, excellent pass. Excellent.
So the Bears of Southwest Missouri State are rolling against Tennessee 33-24 at the Fleet Center in Boston. Temple 29-18 over the Bearcats, who averaged 75 a game, 18 in the first half. In Milwaukee, Oklahoma 37-22 leaders over UNC Charlotte, 17% shooting for the 49ers. In New Orleans, Miami trails Utah 32-29. We will have more as we continue the road to the Final Four in just a moment.
Pennzoil at the Half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
They get it back.
Oh, my gosh! Oh, Heartbreak Hotel, Elvis Presley. Oh, holy, wow. Off the glass, almost broke the glass.
Sometimes prayers are answered. Man, oh man. And the over-emotional Steve Alford, who is with Armin Katayan.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it very much. Okay, Steve.
So Steve Alford, not as happy a man